Hello YouTube, this is Corbin22 here, back with another 100-point squadron build for Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures. In this series here, we take a look at 100-point squadrons and can discuss their competitive viability in the Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures game. Tonight, we're looking at a build that I recently constructed, last night actually. I call this the Stress Relief build. It consists of a Koyansar BTL S3 Y-Wing attack starfighter piloted by Dutch Vander. And we have two Incom T-65 X-Wing space superiority fighters piloted by what I call underdogs of the game, and they are Hobbie Klivian and Porkins, also known as Piggy. The emphasis behind this build is the X-Wings are able to get rid of stress. So really, it's not so much with them taking stress and turning to advantage, it's more the fact that they can get rid of stress at will, provided they meet specific requirements in order to do so. And then, of course, Dutch Vander here is just here for added heavy support, as well as really he's meant to help Hobbie more so than Jack, because Jack is able to kind of act on his own, but Hobbie and Dutch Vander are kind of meant to go together. So enough of the ships and the pilots. Let's look at the build we have below here. So as you can see, we have three ships here, decked out to as much as we can here. It's pretty straightforward. A Y-Wing and two X-Wings. The X-Wings are kind of just, they're kind of meant to be dogfighters, while the Y-Wing attacks from a distance with his protons and his regular lasers. But if he needs to get up close, if he needs to attack up close, he's got a turret to help him out with that. And I'll start with I guess you could say he's the squadron leader. We have Dutch Vander. Coming at a pilot skill of 6, he flies the Koyansar BTL S3 Y-Wing attack starfighter for the Rebel Alliance. He has the standard stats of a Y-Wing. He has an attack value of 2, agility value of 1, hull value of 5, and a shield value of 3. His action bar consists of the focus and target lock actions. He costs 23 points to field. And his upgrade bar consists of a turret upgrade, 2 warheads, and an Astromech upgrade, along with unlisted Thailand modification. His card ability reads, after acquiring a target lock, choose another friendly ship at range 1 to 2. The chosen ship may immediately acquire a target lock. So Dutch Vander is here for added support for Hobbie, really, because of Hobbie's ability. And in case, we'll get to Hobbie in a second, but let's discuss upgrades first. For his modification, I've gone with a shield upgrade, which comes at a squad point cost of 4, and it reads, increase your shield value by 1. So that means with a shield upgrade, Dutch Vander now has 5 hull and 4 shields, placing him roughly the same stats as the K-Wing fighter. Only difference being is that its primary weapon is not a turret, but that being said, it can have a turret as a secondary, so that eliminates that problem. Now, we've outfitted Dutch Vander with as many upgrades as he's allowed, minus the title card. For his turret, we've got an Autoblaster turret. Coming in at a squad point cost of 2, it has an attack value of 2 and a range of 1. It states, attack one ship, even a ship outside your firing arc. Your hit results cannot be cancelled by defense dice, but the defender may cancel critical results before hit results. So, this means that the Autoblaster turret, as long as you score regular hits, they cannot be cancelled by defense dice. The only possible way you can cancel them is with evade tokens, and which pretty much makes them almost impossible to evade, because only a few ships can take, select few ships can take evades, like most of the TIEs, and the A-Wings, the E-Wings, and yeah, so this guy, he's a good thing to put on a Y-Wing, but the downside is it requires that you be at range 1 to use it. So the Y-Wing you want to get up as close as possible. Alternatively, what you could have done with Dutch is put on either you could have put on a shield, an engine upgrade to help out with that. But really, Dutch Vander is just going to be attacking from a distance, really. For his first warhead, I've gone with standard Proton Torpedoes. They have an attack value of 4, they come with a squad point cost of 4, and they can be used at range 2 to 3. It states, spend your target lock and discard this card to perform this attack. You may change one of your focus results to a critical result. So with Proton Torpedoes, standard issue secondaries for most X-Wings and Y-Wings, as well as B-Wings. Really good attack power, decent range, you can use them at range 2 to 3. And you can change one of your focuses to a critical, which is a pretty good trade-off if you ask me. That means you can kind of ease up on your focus results. We have given him extra munitions as well, coming at a squad point cost of 2. It basically grants him an extra torpedo at half the cost. So that means Dutch Vander still has 2 torpedoes, but they cost 2 less than what's required. And for his Astromech, we've got an R2 Astromech, which changes all of his speed 1 and 2 maneuvers to green maneuvers, and it comes with a squad point cost of 1. So that means Dutch Vander goes from having only 2 green maneuvers to like 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 7 or 8, roughly that much. But yeah, so that's with Dutch Vander. Let's go on to his wingmate and his partner for this build. We have here Derek Hobbie Klivian. Coming in at a pilot skill of 5, he flies the Incom T-65 X-Wing Space Superiority Fighter for the Rebel Alliance. He has the standard stats of an X-Wing, attack value 3, agility value 2, hull value 3, shield value 2. His action bar consists of the focus and target lock actions. He costs 25 points to field. And his upgrade bar consists of a warhead upgrade, an Astromech upgrade, and an unlisted tile and modification. His card ability reads, when you acquire or spend a target lock, you may remove 1 stress token from your ship. So, as long as Hobbie keeps taking, acquiring or spending target locks, if he's stressed, that stress is removed. Yeah, you may have seen this build of Hobbies I've shown before in my latest single ship discussion. But for the sake of the video, we'll investigate it again. For his modification, we've gone with an integrated Astromech, which is an X-Wing only modification. It comes at a cost of 0. It reads, when you are dealt a damage card, you may discard one of your Astromech upgrade cards to discard that damage card without resolving its effect. So it's basically a free hull upgrade for the X-Wings at the cost of losing your Astromech. But really, would you rather lose the Astromech, or would you rather lose the ship entirely? Personally, I think the decision is fairly easy to make. For his warhead, I've gone with Flechette Torpedoes, possibly one of my favorite secondaries to field. They come in at an attack value of 3, can be used at range 2 to 3, and they come in at a squad point cost of 2, so they're very cheap secondaries. They state, discard this card and spend your target lock to perform this attack. After you perform this attack, the defender receives 1 stress token, even if its hull value is 4 or lower. So with the Flechette Torpedoes, as long as the total hull value is 4 or lower, which is basically almost every starfighter in the game, aside from the larger ships and maybe the bombers, then they'll get stressed after this, even if the attack misses. So it's a good little it's a good little thing for crippling in the targets you want. And allow for your other 2 wingmen to get close and deal a finishing blow. For his Astromech, I've gone with a Tarting Astromech, which came with the T-70 X-Wing expansions. They come in at a squad point cost of 2. If I can get this to focus, please. Come on, focus, please. Maybe I move it over here. There we go. So yeah, coming in at a squad point cost of 2, it reads, after you execute a red maneuver, you may acquire a target lock. So, Target Astromech gives Hobbie a little bit more leeway with his red maneuver, which is a K4. Hobbie can make his K4, he'll get stressed, but then the Target Astromech allows him to take a target lock. Because he's acquiring a target lock, he's getting rid of his stress, which allows him to take his remaining focus action. Alternatively, again, you could put like another upgrade up here, like a boost action or something, whatever, to give him some more. But yeah, basically with the Tarting Astromech, it allows for action economy, allowing you to take both of your actions in the same turn, essentially, allowing you to hit with your Flechettes early on in the match. Now, move on to the Lone Wolf here, and possibly one of the most underrated pilots here. We have Porkins. I've never personally used this guy because I personally found his ability to be very risky, but if you field him right with the right upgrades, his ability can pay off. So we have Porkins coming in at a pilot skill of 7. He also flies the Incom T-65 X-Wing fighter for the Rebel Alliance. He has the standard stats of an X-Wing, which is an attack value 3, agility value 2, hull value 3, shield value 2. His action bar consists of the focus and target lock actions. He costs 26 points to field. And his upgrade bar consists of an elite upgrade, a warhead upgrade, and an Astromech upgrade, as well as an unlisted tile and modification. His pilot ability reads, when you receive a stress token, you may remove it and roll 1 attack die. On a hit result, deal 1 face-down damage card to the ship. So Porkins' ability is a useful ability, but it's very risky to use. Basically, you can perform, like, say, a red maneuver, which is be a K4, or alternatively, you could run into a debris field, and as long as you run past it, you're fine. You'll get stressed, but then with Porkins, you can remove the stress, or you can opt to remove the stress, but you have to roll an attack die. And for every hit result you get on that attack die, you deal 1 face-down damage card to the ship, even if they're shielded. So that's why Porkins is a bit of a double-edged sword for me. But again, if you field him just right, then he could be a very useful pilot in the game. I mean, really, as you guys already know, Porkins was probably the first pilot to die in the attack of the Death Star, because I think he made an attacker with Biggs, and some debris field from the deflectionary hit hit him, and he caused his ship to waver a bit, and unfortunately he couldn't pull up in time for turbo laser fire to tear him apart. So you can see why his ability is like that, because Porkins was known for making really, really low strafing runs, and of course that's why, that's why he's got that ability. So like with Hobbie, we've also given him an integrated Astromech, which kind of complements the ability. Just in case you're about to get destroyed from your ability or from anything else, you can sub out your Astromech and negate that damage entirely. For his elite pilot skill upgrade, I've given him Push the Limit, which states once per round after you perform an action, you may perform one free action in your action bar, then receive a stress token. So basically, at a squad point cost of 3, Jack is able to take both his actions in the same turn. He'll get stressed, but when you get the stress, you can opt to remove it with his ability, roll your attack die, and so on and so forth. Hope you don't get damaged. For his torpedoes, his warheads, I go with a plasma torpedo. Because he is the highest pilot skill of this group, I figured this would be a good warhead to put on him, because it has the same stats as the Proton torpedoes, only they cost 1 point cheaper, and they come in at a range 2 to 3 and attack value 4. It states, spend your target luck and discard this card to perform this attack. If this attack hits, after dealing damage, remove 1 shield token from the defender. So the plasma torpedoes are shield whittlers. They're very good against heavily shielded ships. If for whatever reason your plasma torpedoes hit and they deal, like, say, 1 damage, they strip away the shield token of that target, at least 1 additional shield token. So even if they do only 1 damage, the target loses 2 shield tokens. So very useful for ships with 2 or fewer shield tokens, or for heavier shielded ships that end up losing all but 1 of their tokens. Then of course the torpedoes strip that last token away. And then of course for his Astromech, I have gone with R5D8, which perfectly complements Jack Porkins' ability. Coming in at a squad point cost of 3, it reads, action, roll 1 defense die. On an evade or focus result, discard 1 of your face down damage cards. So how this works is, Jack Porkins gets stressed. You can opt to remove the stress and roll for damage. If you are damaged and you get that face down, the next turn you can R5D8 to roll 1 defense die, and because it requires a focus or an evade result, the chances of you rolling that dice are like 1 in 5, or like no, yeah, you have like for every 8 dice, the defense dice have 8 results on them. I think it's like 2 blank, it's like 3 blank, 2 evade. It's like 3 blanks, 3 evades, and 2 focus. 3 blanks, 3 focuses, and 2 evades, or something like that. So basically, your chances of getting any of these results are pretty good, because your chances of getting a hit result are half and half. With R5D, your chances of getting hit or evade are like, I think maybe 2/3 of the dice. So yeah, it's with R5D8 you can kind of afford to risk Jack Porkins' ability, but then of course after you take R5D8's action, you can opt to push the limit, and then take like a focus or a target lock, or if you're next to Dutch and he's not next to Hobbie, then of course you can have Jack Porkins do the share target lock, then push them with a focus, get stressed, and then of course you can opt to remove the stress, and it's a vicious circle. So that's how this build works. It is again called my stress relief build. Dutch Vander is here mainly for support. Hobbie Klivian, he can go crazy with his red maneuvers because targeting Astromech allows him to take advantage of his ability. Integrated Astromech just in case he is about to be destroyed. Same with Jack Porkins, he can opt to remove stress. He has Push the Limit to take both of his actions at once, Plasma Torpedoes for shield whittling, and R5D8 for damage repair either from his ability or from damage. And of course, just in case he is about to be destroyed either by his own ability or by debris or damage or by weapons fire, he has the integrated Astromech as well. So about R5D8 to spare his shift for that 1 turn. So yeah, this is how the build is constructed. I will show you in a bit how it works in just a little bit. Okay, so we've got our scenario set up here. For this one, we're going to give the rebels the initiative because we do have a couple of ships here that are able to do have the same pilot skill as each other. So we're going to start with the Obsidian Squadron pilots here. I'm just going to proxy their moves. I'm just going to move this guy over here just a little bit, and he's okay. So for his ability, for his maneuver, he's going to take like he's going to take a soft 2. No, he's going to take a hard 1. For this scenario, he's going to take a hard 1 like so. And then for his ability, he's going to take a focus action. Just get myself a focus token here. Like that. Alright, and then it'll be Hobbie's turn because he is. Oh no, sorry, it'll be this guy's turn. This guy's going to go straight. This guy is going to take a straight 2. Because this is the slowest straight speed a TIE fighter can go at. Like so. And then for his action, he's going to take an evade. Like that. Because he knows he's going to be taking a shot at Porkins, and Porkins is going to shoot first. So now we move on to Hobbie. Now Hobbie is going to do a K turn at speed 4. So we're just going to kind of go along here. So he's going to do his K turn. Like so. Now, here's the thing. That K turn will stress Hobbie out. However, the targeting Astromech allows him to take a free targeting lock if he performs a red maneuver. So he's going to take his target lock, put it on Epsilon leader here, and Hobbie's ability states if he acquires or spends a target lock, the stress is gone. So the stress is gone, and he's able to double up with a focus action. So by doing that red maneuver, the stress from his red maneuver got cancelled because of the free target lock and the targeting Astromech, allowing him to take his focus action as his action bar. And then of course, next we'll have Dutch Vander because he is the one that goes next. Dutch is going to perform a soft or hard 2. I'm performing a hard 2 like this. So he'll have a shot on any of these other guys going up here. And then for his action, we're going to have him take a target lock onto this guy. Which of course will trigger his ability, which is another ship at range 1 to 2 when he acquires target lock and also acquire target lock. So that means Jack Porkins will also get target lock because he's at range 1 of him. And then it'll be Epsilon Leader's turn. Epsilon Leader, he's going to do, say, let's have him do a soft 2. Get him close to. There you go. Now he's up close to him here. And then for his action, he is going to take an evade. Because again, he's going to play it safe. Try and see if he can avoid the shot if he can. Because of course Dutch has the Autoblaster turret, which means that he can't be cancelled by dice results. So the only thing he can cancel with is an evade. And then of course we'll have Jack Porkins. Jack is going to do a straight 1 maneuver. Oops, put that back that way. There you go. He's already got a target lock on it. Let's say for this scenario. No, let's say for this scenario he doesn't use his thing. He's going to take a focus action. And then he's going to push the limit and take a target lock, all in the same turn. He'll get the stress, but he's going to opt to remove that stress. So, I'm going to need my dice here. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. So he's going to opt to remove the stress, roll 1 attack die, and he's going to suffer 1 crit. He's going to suffer 1 face down damage. So we're just going to proxy the damage. So that means he's down to 2 shields and 2 hull because of this result. So yeah, Again, it's a risky maneuver, but the next turn afterwards, he can take his maneuver, get to safety, take R5D8 as an action, roll his defense dice, and let's say for this example, let's do that. Let's just show for example what he can do next turn. Okay, so that wouldn't have worked, but if he had gotten an evade, or sorry, a focus or an evade result, then he could have taken off that dice caused by his ability. And then we go on to the attack phase. Porkins is going to get the first shot because he has the highest pilot skill. He has a pilot skill of 7. He's going to shoot point blank as the Obsidian pilot. So he's going to get 4 dice. Well, the Obsidian pilot gets 3, plus he has an evade result. But Porkins has both a focus and a target lock. So, okay, he has a focus. He is going to spend that focus. So all those are hits. So he's got 3 hits and a critical. Obsidian pilot scores 2 hits and a blank. So he's going to opt to spend his evade token. So all these 3 here are canceled, but he suffers a critical. And let's say that critical is damage engine. So that means all of his hard turns become red maneuvers. Then it'll be Dutch Vander's turn to attack. He has a target lock on Obsidian pilot, but he's in range 1 of the Epsilon leader. So that means he's going to attack with his get out of here. He's going to attack with his Autoblaster turret, which is advantageous for him because he cannot cancel the Autoblaster turrets. Cannot be canceled by regular regular hits cannot be canceled, but criticals can be canceled with the regular. So it's an attack value of 2. We got a hit and a focus. He cannot spend his target lock, so he's got that 1 hit to work with. However, the Obsidian pilot, or the Epsilon leader, has an evade token, which he can use to cancel that hit. It says defense dice cannot cancel, but evade tokens can, so Epsilon leader is fine. Excuse me. Now it will be Epsilon leader's turn to attack. It'll be 3 against 1, because the Y-Wing has only 1 agility. He's attacking at range 1. So we've got 2 hits and a blank. Dutch is going to take some damage. He takes 2 shields. So both of these are gone. It has 2 shields left and 5 hull points. Next will be Hobbie Klivian. Hobbie has a target lock on this guy. He's going to attack him at range 3, I believe that is. I'm going to assume it's range 3. I'll move that shield token up. Oops. Oh no, it's a range 2. Okay, so Hobbie gets 3 dice and the Epsilon leader gets 3 dice. So 3 versus 3. Hobbie has both a focus and target lock he can use. Okay, well, all he needs to do is spend the focus. He spends the focus. That becomes a hit. So now he has 2 hits and a critical. And the Epsilon pilot suffers both a shield. He's Epsilon pilot suffers his 1 shield, and his critical will be, let's say it's a minor hull breach, which means, major hull breach, which means that every time he gets dealt damage, it'll be critical damage. And then finally, it'll be the Obsidian pilot's turn. This guy's going to shoot a Hobbie at range 2, so it'll be a 2v2. Okay, he's got a focus, so spend the focus token. Turn those into hits. Hobbie has to get 2 shots in order to evade this. And he's a focus, so both his shields are gone. And then it'll be this Obsidian pilot attacking Eject Porkins. It's range 1, so it'll be 3 versus 2. Oops, that was a hit. So 1 hit, cannot modify that. And Jack Porkins suffers a shield. Now, when the next turn comes along, Jack can move, spend R5D, use R5D as an action to repair the hull damage he received from getting rid of the stress, and then Dutch Vander can kind of circle around, use his Autoblaster if he has to, but of course attack with his torpedoes when he's at far enough range. As long as this guy keeps taking, and this guy has a target lock, so he can stress himself out again, but then of course if he spends his target lock, it'll remove the stress and allowing him to rinse and repeat. And then of course these guys here, he allows people to remove stress, so they're in range 1 of him, so yeah. Anyway, that's just how I would feel my stress relief build. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Any sort of criticism is greatly appreciated. If you like, you may use this build for any competitive or casual play, or you can tweak it or revamp it to your own specifications. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Corbin22 signing off.